As far as I'm aware, one speed buff is less powerful than the speed buff is now, and two of them is stronger. As far as I'm aware. So
I'm thinking shards.
Yeah, shards are definitely a big one.
Yeah, tell me about these. So these are like, you get the starter relic we used to get, you know, obviously the ward at the start of the game, but now there's
But that could have changed.
No, yeah, exactly. So instead of getting that vision shard relic, you're gonna have just like a base default, just like you do with your.
Can it stack up to 3 and 4? I have no idea.
That into one of the other ones.
I don't know.
With that shard relic slot, you can choose that between 5 different shard relics. One of them is still the vision shards. If you want just the default, you want to make sure that you have that ward vision early on. It's honestly still pretty important. But with the other shards, they do allow for really significant.
Is there a list of all the changes? There will be on Wednesday, right here on this stream when you watch the patch notes with me.
Abuse. Well, I mean, you know our players will abuse what they can. But be able to use those in the early game and then transition those out for normal relics later on. Okay.
Exactly, yeah. Still supposed to be getting your relic at 12 the vast majority of the time, but these are very, very strong individual buffs that last for a short duration. So the stats are going to be pretty impressive when you look at them. You know, anytime you see like 40% attack speed or something like that, you're going to be thinking, wow, that's a lot. But it's for a very short amount of time.
Okay.
On a cooldown. They all share the same cooldown between the shards, but you have your choice based on what your god does best. So if, you know, movement speed and attack speed doesn't sound particularly appealing to you, how about stealing some procs or getting some power?
The shards are very,
those are some of the things
very powerful,
do you want to see
very tiny duration.
Which one would you like to see an experimentation?
Very tiny.
I would love to see a lot of Carapace Shard, and that is the one that Aggro was mentioning, steals protections.
Wow.
Of course, that buff doesn't stack, or debuff rather, doesn't stack on enemies, so don't worry, you're not going to 0 protections ever, but it is very awesome to be stealing those. You're stronger, they're weaker.
When they were in design, they were talking about like these massive buffs that last for like 3 seconds.
You know, soften up
so you make like a quick power play.
The same exact time.
Kind of thing.
Shards
that was the
something
idea.
that definitely takes some players some time to get used to. I don't want to use it and then lose it, but I think that as players get more comfortable and are willing to let it rip more often, it's going to be really fun.
Well, here we go. Into game your first look at the Season 10 map.
Okay, it's definitely wider, right? That's a thick boy. Look at that.
This is still not fully final. We will have a couple of things that you might not be used to seeing.
Thick
like the
map.
trees all there for the spectator mode. But we'll give you the best we can.
Girthy.
It's so fat is the best way. And that's coming from me of all people. It's very wide. How long does it take to traverse this map, guys?
Give or take the rest of your life. No, it takes a long time, but it's not impossible to do. But certainly you have to be a little bit more wary of where you're positioning as a jungler or as a roaming
support. Look at them speed buffs, baby.
Putting yourself in a position where you can't help anybody else.
Now, honestly, I don't believe these players have even seen this map before, so they're kind of exploring. I think Nick is cheating with this, you know, by going the Jormungandr so we can just look over the walls real quick. Oh,
all those new shards.
Well. Huh. They both had actually Cthulhu as well for Deathwalker. That's interesting.
Neil is not going to do this, man. In a show match, he's about to invade.
Oh my God, he tried to get cheeky.
You know, if the wall wasn't there, Neil, it would have been good. But it didn't. It was a good attempt for the most part. They're invading at the moment, though. We're getting aggressive in the jungle. How
I'll
is
move
the
myself
invade
further
situation?
into the corner for you guys.
Still Invader's Curse. It's still there.
So you can see all the
still want to
shards
make
and
sure
stuff.
that you aren't being completely stopped from doing what you want to do in the early game, but not completely take it out. You got to be a little intelligent with where you're grouping everything up.
Let's see everyone pull up.
Your non-ultimate cooldown reduced by 0.5 seconds every second for 3 seconds. That's a freaking gnarly. Look at that pull. Look at that.
Keep the aggro together, but you get to pull them together and clear both buffs at the same time.
Something tells me these guys are a little bit more prepared, Neilmar and Ducky. They decided to rotate to lane 2. Meanwhile, the left-hand side, like the team U-Rock are just doing near the purple buff. Deathwalker and Weaken, pretty much they went kind of speed into blue like we've seen before, really.
Yeah.
A lot of players kind of do that.
The camp pulling is crazy.
When the new map comes out, we kind of
I don't know if Hog is still in the game.
There, but man,
oh, Raven not again, the knock-up already. First blood to U-Rock, and it's Wraithling down already.
That's a quick kill.
In the mid lane. And a kill goes over to
Look how big these lanes are, man.
You get a lot of advantages from going for multiple
Those are those new shards. Those new
the
new shields in front of the tower that you can see.
Good clear there from cancel that, or from U-Rock rather.
Well, while the aggression's going on over here, you can see the jump in from.
You get rid of those, and it weakens the tower.
Back to safety. And actually is near those bastions. Can those bastions be hit right now, for example?
Oh yeah, by ability.
I didn't see any hogs picked up by anybody, which means I think they removed hog from the game specifically because of the pulling camps.
Weakening them down too. Well, speaking of weaken, Leon is in the jungle trying to invade there on this left-hand side. And I've noticed the pattern in these jungles, these left-hand side and right-hand side, there's more of an arc to the lanes now.
Yep.
Was that part of the design to make sure they're a bit wider in these lanes?
Wider, longer,
Can you hide behind them? Probably. I see no reason why you wouldn't be able to.
I think,
at least until they break.
Well, Leon's going to gank the duo lane now. Neilmar's knocked up. He wasn't even looking. Feather step comes through, but Neil.
Oh, the axe!
But he's
he almost got pulled.
And an escape there as U-Rock could have got their second kill of the game. Lermy, so far, everyone's kind
there
of gone back
are
to, we'll
roaming jungle camps.
Well, yeah,
so if you look at the mini map on the top right, look on that right-hand side, you see a little camps walking all over. There are roaming jungle camps.
One for you, Rock.
And that gold buff, what exactly does that do?
Well, you can see that shield and inbound health. He's got a little bit extra there, and that will last as long as the gold buff does, or until that shield goes away.
Just lets you be a little bit more aggressive in your lane, you know, get that extra little health shield. And gold buff is something that can stack with any other buff. So you aren't trading gold for instead of green or instead of purple. If you want it,
that jungle buff is the new Zappy boy.
Buff you have, which
you know what I'm saying?
Which is really fun.
It's the new Zappy boy. It's the new duo camp. You go over and you do it after you clear the wave. You get that bonus buff.
Season 10, first look of how this is going on with that first kill just for you, Rock, so far. But yes, with this moment right now,
but instead of being a Zappy boy, it's a defensive boy.
Get some pressure on the right-hand side. The actual tier 1 towers on right and left, and dual lane and solo lane, a little further away this time, a little bit more distance between them.
Yeah.
It does look like those Jorm pools are hurting
the puddles on both bastions almost
the
bastions. Look at that, he's withering them away.
So it looks like ability damage will hit them.
Because he will keep this
so it looks like they probably function like a totem.
These shards though being picked up at the moment.
You know, they probably work like a totem. We don't have to auto them.
For the season 10 map, I'm excited to see exactly which ones are going to get really used here. We've seen a couple. Aggro, tell me about that Horn Shard.
The duo lane is
for those
so
characters that want to
long.
make use of their abilities a little bit more often in the early game. So these effects are clearly very strong, right? You know, 0.5 seconds every second for the next 3 seconds on that 2-minute timer. I think that we see both
the totem is gone. The totem is gone as far as I'm aware. If you look over by Jorm, there's a new buff over there.
Really, really good to just get those bursts.
And I do believe that it's a cooldown buff. I believe that the totem has been replaced by a solo lane cooldown buff, I think.
Minions coming through. As they came through the mid lane, he is spotted out, but no one's on this left-hand side to keep the pressure rolling. Instead, U-Rock are taking a purple buff off the invade.
There's the roaming harpy.
Right by Leon.
He's a roaming harpy. That's he's not quite as sedentary as his other harpy brethren. So every so often, that harpy camp, even when it's coming off of respawn, a roaming harpy will begin to move around the rock on both solo and duo side, and let you kind of get some plays there.
Okay. Well, it's nice to see a bit of a group up in mid, looking for a pick on solo double J, who's traded out for weakness. Too good for enough damage, and Wraithen gets a kill for himself.
Look how big the middle lane section is right here, dude.
I think if he had popped his claw,
the sides feed right into it.
Done some work for him there. That's the one that gives you more power, and
mid lane is going to be so scary.
So
look how big it is,
quite
bro.
A bit during that Anubis
look at that, just absolute.
You like to see the Horn Shard in mid because cooldowns are so important for those mages that love to spam, but specifically Claw on Anubis. That's a great synergy.
Yep, agreed. I like the pickup.
Will that minion aggro him in the jungle? Do they auto aggro if you're in the jungle near them?
No, they only aggro when you hit them.
So they're kind of friendly, you know? That's kind of nice.
A little bit.
And look at this. So green buff is now much closer towards mid lane, but Neil brought it over towards Ducky in order to get some help in order to clear it.
Nice.
Look at the Gold Fury Pit. Gold Fury Pit totally new in the middle of a giant, of a little circle. You see what I'm saying? So you can fight from all sides on the Gold Fury.
As long as they rate you 5 stars, then it's
not like against a wall anymore. Very dangerous Gold Fury Pit. Very dangerous.
Well, we'll see how that works out. Continuing on with the show match, though, of the Season 10 map. I'm very excited to see how this goes as the game goes on. Wraith back in base, having a hard time thinking about what to go for here at the moment. What is that item that Weaken's picked up? What's that? Is it a sword?
It is. It's a brand new katana over there.
A new katana?
It's a new katana. It's called Shadow Drinker, as Weaken just got absolutely ambushed. Yeah, we're used to that anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Shadow Drinker now, when you kill an enemy god, you just go into stealth.
Okay.
Just another stealth.
Yeah, it's just stealth and movement speed for a little bit.
Just stealth after you kill somebody, you know. Classic.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
Classic.
Okay. Well, big fight on the right-hand side of the map is Deathwalker gets goon squatted by 4 members of U-Rock there. The rest have cancelled that, not doing anything. You'd hope they would do a Gold Fury or something, but instead it's going to be a Scorpion instead.
Hey, gold buff, pretty valuable. It's a good amount of gold and XP, and you get that shield to help with your next
The
engagement,
items are insane this upcoming year. I can't talk about them all because that's still going to be on the patch notes Wednesday.
Giannis in mid for racing.
But
what is that item next to Tablet of Destiny?
So another
so
much
much
crazy
crazy stuff.
Tablet of Destinies, and it's pretty unique. It's a stacking item, so you can either get it with or maybe after or before Book of Thoth. And when you damage enemies, gods, with your abilities, you gain stacks.
This one's crazy.
And those stacks allow you to deal true damage with further abilities.
True damage.
Based on your max mana.
Okay.
Yes, and it's every stack you get, as Rexy's going to get ganked over here in the duo lane, Weekend should be able to clean this one up
He's got no
alongside
beads either. Oh, nearly for a second I thought he had an opportunity, but Weekend, and they're going to taunt on his corpse as well.
That's
Got
messed
it.
up. I mean, it's just a show match. That's how it goes. But
Ooh, look at
going
the
back to
totem.
Oh,
Tablet,
no, that's a
as you
totem of
continue
some
to get
sort.
more and more
They still do have a
damage,
totem over there, so
every
they
stack you
decided to
get
keep it.
Deals damage based on the
They
amount
were
of
on the
stacks you
fence
have.
whether the
So it
totem was
continues
going to
stack
stay or
up.
not,
It's-
so they
it's
do
new
have a
type
new
of stacking
totem over there.
mechanic that we're exploring not just on Tablet, but on another item that Inbound has picked up, where poking enemies with abilities is what gets you your stacks.
Well, there's a pressure fight in mid lane as Bobby gets pulled under the
It's
tower
like
by
in the
Weekend
lane
there, but
itself.
At the same time, Rafe did use his
We see
beads.
Apollo in the air too.
And in the air is Apollo coming crashing down. Ducky looking for a play onto Bobby, who will escape for now. Weekend back into the jungle.
Oh!
The
That
Totem Maku real
wrecked
quick. I
the
want to touch on that
Bastion,
'cause this
though.
crowd has a real big issue with Totem Makus for some reason.
Keep in mind,
What's the difference? Has it changed at all? Is it
Yes.
just moved to the side? Or?
There's actually a
wanna
lot
hear
of
about
changes
this.
coming to Totem, so it's no longer the Totem of Ku, it's now just the Totem.
Oh,
and so
he lost his Q.
changing
Yes.
to the Totem means that there's got to be a lot of new stuff to come with it. So one thing that you'll notice the next time that it's up is that there's an aura around it. And that aura is especially good at giving you damage to clear the wave. Horizon coming in here.
Wait, hold on. How is he
Wow.
alive? What's going
Holy.
on? Wraith gets
Nice
that, so does
PO.
Double J.
He ironically
And
ran out of the
reinforcements
shield
from Bobby
that he
and
should have
Elvin
stayed in, but you know
to
what?
bring
It worked
down
out
the
fine.
Omar.
And that time,
I wanna hear about
used
this
the Claw
totem.
Shard
I don't
alongside
actually know what the
Magnos
totem
Tower
does.
in order to life steal up, so it made a
Exactly.
big difference there for him. Man, that was sick.
So yeah, the Q's getting done on the right-hand side now by Nika. What else
No,
does it do?
the totem.
Sorry, totem.
Totem.
The totem.
I'm just trolling you.
No, you're
so,
right, you're right.
So totem now no longer in the side of the jungle or anything like that. It is now in the middle of the lane.
Yes.
But when it is up, it provides a damage aura to those around it. As Ducky got nowhere to go.
Push beads.
Yeah, it can't be doing too much about that. But it allows the solo laners to actually be able to deal more damage to each other, up the solo kill potential in solo lane, without giving damage to those characters, because if we did, then they would just rotate out of solo and kill the jungler or kill the mid laner. Now, you just deal more damage when fighting and when boxing in the solo lane.
Well, we get a first fight at
Okay.
the new Gold Fury pit. There is 4
Interesting,
entrances
so-
to it now. Or do we? It doesn't even look like cancel now.
Damage around that solo lane.
Wild to bring down
Easy
that
Gold Fury.
now.
That Gold Fury
It's a little
pit
bit
is
more
sick.
threatening in that pit now, and
Yep.
just overall
A
around
lot
the
of
map. I think
places
that,
you can
in
get
particular,
ganked
the
from,
new
a lot
Fire
of
Giant is
places
gonna
people
scare
can
some
run
people off
in.
from time to time.
Deathwalker back in solo lane. Still
What I
trying
was
to
gonna
hold
say
pace
was,
in this lane. His
keep in
bastions
mind
in front of his tower have gone.
that
And
also
you can see
this
the
year-
health of the coup fight's going on, boys and girls.
Oh yeah, you can
Who's
see it.
gonna
You
get
can
it?
see the totem aura.
scores
Look at that. Look at that
will
area.
fall. Is it gonna be Shurock? Nika gets it. The best
All of
play
the
he's done
classes
all
have
weekend.
unique stats now.
Come on,
Oh, come
man.
on.
Hunters get more auto damage than like the other classes.
The old days.
Warriors
Neil
get
Murray trying to
built-in
juke out the
cooldown.
days, but it's not gonna be enough.
Mages get
His
built-in
heal fall down,
magical
Pressure's still
power.
rolling. But there is still a Bastion there. They're going to try and dive the tower here. Looking
There's
for Ravens.
built-in class stats. Wow, he just got wrecked.
Wow.
Disaster as Double J gets another
Which is
kill
gonna
on Bobby
change
Diggles
the
on his cam.
gameplay.
Should they take the Bastion there or the tower in this instance?
Very
Bastion's better to get
interesting.
first because it reduces the protections of the tower. It doesn't deal damage to it, but it reduces its protections.
Well, Tier 1 finally falls in the mid lane, the first one of the game. Meanwhile, Ducky jumping in.
wow.
Weaken with a good sonic boom to the back line. Still alive though is Bobby and solo Double J. It's
Holy.
Deathwalker that's going to die first.
U-Rock is pretty big right now.
Inbound finds
They
the
are
son of the
large
Neil
and in
Mob,
charge,
but it's
baby.
Weekend who's in the most trouble.
Now next up the dive in. We'll find Weekend is on the backside. Neilma threw the boulder out, but now he's running for his life. A
Large
push back
and
in
in
for Bobby to
charge.
get hit by Ducky,
Impressive.
but it's not going to be enough for a kill.
Yes, class-wide
It's 3 dead
passive,
on the side of
basically.
Cancel that, and
It's basically
matchmaking in
class-wide base
Season 10,
stacks.
please.
Different
this
classes
map, with
have
how
different
big it is,
base
we're
stats.
looking
Guardians
forward to
have
seeing
built-in
how it plays for
CCR.
the comeback
Right off the bat,
potential,
built in.
You know, normally
And they
it's
scale.
a little bit easier
These
for a
stats are
team
both
who's ahead
built-in
to
and
just
scaling.
rotate over to you and stop whatever split push you're doing or stop whatever extra farming you're doing. But
I don't know the
with
exact
map being
numbers. I don't
bigger
think
in
they've
year
announced
10,
them yet.
I wonder if it's going to give more opportunities to teams who are a little bit behind to spread the map out and find some farms.
We get
And the other thing that
these
we can see
patch
here is
notes
when
on
we talk about the shards
Wednesday.
a lot, what's important is that
Wednesday,
you no longer
January
just have that
18th,
default
day after my
optional vision
birthday.
shard. And
Yeah.
you Rock are absolutely making sure that they keep purchasing wards every time they go back to base. I know that sounds kind of cringe, but it's true. If you look at the mini-map,
How does it affect stat caps? As far as I'm aware, they will apply to stat
makes it a little bit
caps,
more lethal in the
meaning
early
that you
games because
won't
there are
need as
less
much of
free wards
that
out on the
specific
map.
stat, so you
Junglers
can
are
build
getting a
other
lot more
things.
gank-
They
like,
should not
successful
go
ganks,
over
and
caps,
supports are getting
as far as I'm
successful
aware.
ganks off a little bit more often in playtests because
Oh, yeah.
not everybody has vision shard.
Well, that's around the Fire Giant pit right now is where Deathwalker is, or close to, I should say. He's moved a little bit further back.
And look at that guy.
That's a
Oh, yeah.
He looks
cool.
scary, man. Like, he
He's
looks
no
like
longer the
here to
Fire Giant, I
really
guess.
have a good old fight. Neil Maher is a
He's
good
the
old
Fire
fight
whatever.
right now.
Oh, big
I don't even know what it- I don't even know what it's called.
Some
I don't remember.
Not enough to get away from El Leon, though. He'll bring him down as the kills keep rolling. I want to touch on real quick. We've not talked about it. The artwork on this map looks so good.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
solo
yeah.
lane, I saw a beach with
Yeah.
crabs and water.
There's,
That looks
we're
so
still
good.
calling him Fire
Yeah.
Giant. Of course, we're still calling him Fire
On the
Giant.
map, you know,
Oh yeah,
and-
absolutely. As Rexy jumps
Oh,
in, but
yeah, look
Ducky
at the
had the
stats.
bait.
But Rexy still
That's
has
a
his
good
boots and
Aegis.
holds his Aegis for
Oh,
them.
you
Now
better
falls
be
back to the
careful
tower.
there,
Trying to dive in,
Ducky!
But he gets burst down already. Ray from the Beyondisul
Oh.
to jump and to get pressure rolling. He doesn't like where he is,
Oh,
though, and needs
almost
to get out of
body
town
blocked it.
soon and will. The chase is still on now, looking for the Giannis, knowing his portal's on cooldown and the ultimate too, but there's no damage hitting him until
I wish we were getting a little bit more of that on-the-ground view of the map, because it
Good
looks
dive
so
there on
good.
that side. And man, how about Bobby? 0-0-10. That's kind of the ideal support scoreline
He
right
might
here.
be looking for a team next year, boys and girls. Make sure you hit him up. He's trying to put on his performance already.
And he's got a lot of stacks on his prophetic cloak, which I think is another one of the items that people are going to be really excited about. So again, this is part of our new type of stacking item, where you don't get stacks by killing or assisting on minions. You gain stacks by hitting enemy gods with abilities. So when you hit a physical god,
Interesting.
Yep.
you gain a stack of physical protections. When you hit a magical god, you gain a stack of magical protections.
Okay.
And once you have 15 of each, these are in an aura, so it's a very good item for your team. It evolves to something even better.
Oh yeah,
for
it gives you
individually. I think
mitigation.
you're gonna
Oh
like
god,
it
I
when it
remember
evolves.
this item now.
What do you mean? It evolves? You
That
gotta tell me
item
what
is
it does when it
insane, by the
evolves.
way.
Well, you better hope Bobby gets enough stacks, or Neil.
Insane.
Okay, this game's gonna last that long then. I mean, it's only 40 minutes in, but I'm
The
kind
new-
of
I'm
worried
telling
already
you
with
that the
state
new
risk
items are
because
nuts.
The Pyro just went away of you rock, but cancel that. We're trying to actually take the Pyromancer off
Sure.
their mole, and we'll do so.
Hey, what's that on the ground there, Clumsy? Is that something new?
Yeah, so the Pyromancer
The
reward
items
is
are
actually
crazy.
changing to be the runic bomb. And it looks like no one picked it up there, but Neil Ma
Did
getting
they know
kicked
about
out,
it? Did they know what the
I
runic
told
bomb
him.
is?
They might
I
not have
looked
realized
right in
it was
their eyes
there.
and told them about
There's a
it. but-
bomb on the ground, is what you just told me.
Yes,
right.
the
And it
pyro
goes into
is
your
now
inventory if you
separated
have
from the
free
fire
slots.
giant. If you
So
look at the
you have
map,
an open spot
two
for your
separate
wards
areas.
or potions, then
Yes.
you get a runic bomb to use.
Ducky just stood still
Yeah, he
knowing he was
knew.
dead
It
then
was
as the
over.
dive
Yep.
came through for sure. But then, looks like that buff wore off down in the jungle, so they've only got a limited time to pick it up.
Correct. Yep, you got to pick it up. You got a little bit of time afterwards, but just like any other buff, it will expire once it's on the ground for a little bit too long. But you want to use that in order to help push towers or do objectives. The runic bomb is going to not deal damage to gods. Yeah, sorry, I don't want to interrupt everyone's favorite
I was
part.
trying to cast that.
Uh-huh.
Everyone's they're upset now though because he just left it for the tier 1 tower on the right-hand side. Just
Yep.
Deathwalker over here now. I'm excited for the next fire
There's a
giant to get on the first
lot of
fire
new
giant
stuff,
ever,
man.
So I want to see what it does to people.
It messes them up. Although with the lead that you Rock have, it might not mess them up as much as it would in a typical
they're
match.
Up quite a lot at this point in time. But,
There's the chest in the jungle.
Oh,
Yep.
there we go.
That's a new camp as well.
Yeah, the chest in the jungle. What's that? What's that
Yeah.
aura on the ground, guys?
That's right. So we found one of the new map mechanics, which is the rogue stash. And once that's found, you can hit it, and you get a little bit of gold for that. And also, a Cyclops rogue will actually come back, harkening from the old days. And if you kill that, you can actually leash it around a little bit, and it'll drop a deployable once killed, also providing a little bit of gold that gives movement speed to your allies.
Oh, movement speed buff your allies. Okay, that
okay.
sounds good. Well, Rexy dueling.
As
Neil
far
on the
as I'm
jungle on this
aware-
left-hand side. trying to stop Rexy.
There's a slight randomness to that rogue/chess spawn. I don't know exactly how it worked, but I do think there's a partial randomness to it.
Yeah, those ones having a good time, but Neil might not be having as good of a time, but with that new winged blade that he has, very much like what you're used to, but now just a little bit better.
Just like when he's playing for Ronnie Warriors, alone, getting picked up, poor man, all focused down as the rest of his team just trying to farm up and keep busy. There's the winged blade pickup. I'm looking through items now to see if there's anything else in inventories.
Yeah, so I can't wait to go see the fire giant. So I think the new fire has a new set of abilities. Okay, he is still called the fire giant. They didn't want to redo all those voice lines.
All of your allies around you.
So your whole team gets a little bit of help.
If you're within 30 units, then yes, you will also receive a slow cleanse.
Oh, this one is a
winged blade, entire team.
Archstridge Fury is a new
entire
item,
team winged blade.
And this one is really great on your tanks. So get it in Guardian, get it on solo, either way. How this works is every time that you take damage, you get a stack depending on how much damage that you're taking there. So each time you take 5%, you're getting a stack. You can expend those stacks.
Oh, between this is Dave from Ducky. Where was that from?
Got him.
He gets the kill. That was just assy that he got a steal with.
And the new
the itemization for Smite Year 10 is full-blown Dota. If everything is OP, then nothing is OP, and I love it.
Different than they were before, and we have given that passive a little bit more love. So
50 physical power.
This is for power and lifesteal.
Yep.
I think that's also
more expensive.
Right, and that's really important to touch on because while you see a lot of new items, you also don't see a lot of items there too. For example, we see
if everything is OP, nothing is OP, baby. That's the motto for this year.
The general balance of items because there's a lot of things that have just shifted around.
That's right. For anyone just tuning in for this season 10 show,
Honestly, about incoming, bro, I'm telling you, there's so many items that are gonna blow your brain hole.
Just a first look. You guys are going to be deep diving the whole of
It's
this
not
whole
like
update,
just Aussie.
I believe, and going through every single detail.
Exactly. That'll be on Wednesday, and PTS should hopefully be not too long after that for everyone to get their hands on it.
Oh, you've changed them a dev there. I heard you just go, yeah, I'm not going to announce the exact date just in
Of course
case.
not. I've been around long enough. I know how it goes.
That Gold Fury pit, though, it gives you a good idea of what you're there to do with all that gold in the sides. Still waiting for a fire giant, but so far, if you rock could get this, these 5 players are the first ones to get a Gold Fury, a Oni Fury, and a Primal
Are there any
Fury
items left untouched?
in the year 10.
I do believe that there was 50 items that are receiving anything from removal to rework.
Also with another new item in the inventory.
And everywhere in between.
Binding, but a little better than
That's how different the itemization is going to be.
Tier 3ified. Now, same passive, but just health protections and doing it based on your level.
Neil got pulled into danger, but blinking from Deathwalker into the Cthulhu Ultimate, trying to rain down damage, and the madness begins. He takes out Rex's butt in tow, so does Rexy fall. Getting down Ducky too. Into the tier 2 tower goes Leon. He's under pressure still, but on the backside, Deathwalker's escaping. Can Solo Double G find the kill as Nika tanks the tower?
Inbound now, the only one underneath the tower, but it looks like it is a retreat now for U-Rock as they they're up by a good amount here. 9K in 18 minutes.
I want to play it so bad!
Insane, but still got to respect
I gotta
how
wait for
difficult
PTS.
those jungle corridors
PTS
are
will
to fight
probably
in.
be
Lots of
Friday, by the
narrow
way.
choke
Patch
points
notes
where
are
Cancel That
Wednesday.
might be able to
PTS
save
will
time.
probably be up on Friday,
We're doing a pretty
the
solid job of
20th.
that so far. I think,
And then the new season goes live. New year goes live, and a new
Who
season.
still has shards left, and I think the last one from the
24th of January, Tuesday.
Changed. So yep, no more shards
9 days.
past level 12.
And you really feel it's best to still upgrade into the relics, not hold on to those shards, right?
Yes, yeah. They're very strong, but they're individual only. So even things like Frenzy, which are in the same type of vein as something like Claw Shard, you can just get it for your whole team. So it's usually
Time to kill is going to be 1 second again.
Upgrading at level 12 is still going to be the move.
There are just as many busted defense items as there are offense items.
In the breastplate tree, actually, I do believe. My memory serves, although my art. Yeah, new but old. So no more Shield of Regrowth. Instead, it is Breastplate of Regrowth. It's the same passive that everybody loves, but in a new tree with a new stat spread, and in moving some existing items around can really enabled us to open up our space for more cool ideas in trees that needed the space.
Yeah, I think Lermy was
also, if you've been keeping a very keen eye on the items, you might notice that certain stats aren't together anymore.
Either a tower or really anything. That's the best part about this bomb is that you can use it in the
might
middle
be a
of the team
certain
fight.
new rules on what stats are allowed to be on items.
Right now.
Ducky killed it. Ducky killed it. You can basic attack it down, but the Runic Bomb is really there to help on your sieging in particular and finding around objectives. So it's excellent at dealing damage to towers.
Man fight again in the duel lane between Rexy and Ducky getting the better end of it again, has more sustain in his kit. Rexy happy to take the trade though, tries to thread the axe, didn't find a home. We can now rotating in. Rexy could be getting baited here, or is it Ducky? Because in comes in.
Run, Ducky, run!
Bursted down already.
Bye, Ducky.
Yeah, Ducky's Demon Blade.
I want to
not doing
see
quite
the
enough there, and
fuego
it might,
get done.
look like an item that you're familiar with, and that's by design.
21 to
because
4, but
another
it's
item that has
actually
been
like an
moved
8K
in
gold
its
diff, which
tree.
isn't
So
the
Wind
biggest
Demon
gold diff
no
for sure.
longer,
Not as big as it could be for 21 to 4.
Instead, it is Demon Blade building out of the short sword tree. Very same passive, all that kind of stuff.
Here we go. Here we go. The crowd likes PvE.
Handsome.
They're going to enjoy the FGP.
Okay, he's still got a knockup.
On the outside. Raisin's going to ward in though, so cancel that. No, this is going on. The group
Still got some medium. It looks like more of a consistent knockup actually.
And they will drop him down to 0.
Looks like he's still basically got the same kit. That's what it looks like. Looks like it's mostly an aesthetic change.
Yep, absolutely. And Inbound's taking a lot of damage.
There's the
Deathwalker
magma
in, and he's
pools.
going to do quite a bit with the build that he has.
That Fire Giant Pit is hard to defend, though. Look at that. So many areas to get ganked from. Just like the Gold Fury.
A little bit larger than even the new Fire Giant in its ultimate.
Yeah,
Fire Giant's still leashed, but it's taken a long time, and Nika eating a ton of damage. Ducky dunks on in. Raven's just watching from the side with his ultimate. Will throw it out. Meanwhile, Fire Giant getting low, and the first Fire Giant of the year 10 Showmatch is going to go the way of
U-Rock.
Huge knock up there from Inbound, and it's just easy pickings now for U-Rock. They get the fire, they get 4, and Inbound ends up surviving as well, getting a little bit of healing there through the 3 and getting a little buff from it with
communication of this map is going to be so important too, because if the jungler's over in solo and you see him, you have to let your duo lane know, because that means they've got like a full minute without the jungler showing up, right? Like,
duplicate even more for your team or tier 2
it's such a thick map.
Onto the Phoenixes. First little look at them. They look so pretty, those birds.
Yeah, this base is very difficult to siege, but certainly not impossible, but I think that it is a little bit more defender advantageous than in previous years.
I don't want them to end. Why are they trying to end? I want to keep talking and looking at more stuff. Why are you guys trying to go in the pit and end the game? Well, they're going to kill Ducky and now turn their attention towards the Titan. And the Titan's
the bigger the map gets, the more that like global, semi-globals become more helpful, for traversing the map.
Bobby's taking a lot of damage, and Deathwalker's ultimate not quite all yet, and that's why when he gets pulled in, it's not going to go well for him.
Bursted down. The composition of U-Rock working out really well. Bobby,
what's that portal thing behind the Phoenix? I do believe that's where the minions are spawning in from.
Those minions and drag them
I do believe that's where the minions spawn
just trying to farm in the
so it's like more aesthetic.
Yeah, not a great position here for Cancel That. And you can tell because Wraithen with the Tablet of Destinies, it can also kind of be a abilities hit counter in a way. So only hit 15 enemies since with abilities since he's gotten that. But maybe it does have an internal cooldown, so maybe a little more than that.
Neomar just trying to keep
you might notice that Jorm has a Glad shield.
They want to deny you more of looking at this new map that we're going to see in a couple of weeks' time. But at the moment, Cancel
once again, certain stats are no longer ever going to be on the same items.
Oh, Rexy got pushed. Neil got him back into the fountain, but the Aegis saved him. That was such a good play from Neil.
Thus opening up certain items to classes they have never been allowed to build on before.
Not seeing more, please blame the players that just won the game. You know their names and their socials.
Elion went 15-0.
You're going to have to make more active choices about whether you're going aggressive or defensive.
Wraithen did exactly what I thought he would.
What was that?
No
more all-in-one items, baby!
Much else. What else, Clumsy, can you tell me that we may not have seen?
Yeah, buddy!
Yeah, the one thing that's kind of the passive permissive effect as well is the God class stat bonuses.
Oh,
so something that we probably could have gone on a lot earlier, but there's just so much going on, is that each of those classes, each of those roles, they were getting a unique buff that's completely new to them from before. And we saw a little bit of that in the keynote show.
We did, and I'm sure we'll see even more of that when we get to the update show. Come this Wednesday, where you guys are going to deep dive
this Wednesday we've got the patch notes.
What else would you like to touch on?
They're going to talk about all the items, all the changes, all the craziness.
As I mentioned earlier, over 40 changes to items, whether that's new
tier
items.
3s only.
Tier 3s only, yes.
Tier 3s only, so it's
that's
not like
even counting the
tier 1s and tier 2s.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of significant ones. Sorry.
40 plus tier 3 item changes. Tier 3.
Yep.
Lots of awesome stuff coming up.
That's right. I think, you know, the itemization change, we've heard what Smite fans really seem to like, which is that, you know, they love the game, they love what's going on, but they also want it to feel a little bit different than it has. You know, they've been playing for 10 years.
Yep.
You know, we're going into our year 10. So
it's so exciting.
I think we really took that to heart and tried to stay core to what Smite is and what Smite does. But it means that we're willing to shake things up a little bit more than we used to be in the past. So there are some items that, yes, do end up getting removed. If they're sorely missed, we can always bring them back in a
lot
new
of items
form
getting
or,
removed.
You know, in a glyph or anything like that. So
Or
I'm not too worried about that. I really think that the new types of items that we're exploring and how different the build is going to feel for as many different roles as possible is going to make it feel.
Thank you for supporting the Twitchiest community. If you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and always hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thank you for all your support and have a Twitchin' day, y'all.